Welcome to the Tie-Dyed Therapist. I'm your host, Richard Killian. Today I'd like to share another blog post I created called Positive Energy Accepted. This is a story that a client related to me quite a while ago, and I thought you might enjoy it. The other day, a client shared a funny story with me. He said that one night there were two guys and a girl hanging out in Central Park. A group of tourists walked by the trio smiling and happily greeted them. One of the guys lifted his hand up in the air, making a grabbing gesture. As he did this, he announced in a loud voice, "Positive energy accepted." Everyone, including the tourists, started laughing. My client and I also laughed about this comical exchange. My first thought was, where else but in New York could this happen? We continued to discuss the meaning behind the story. My client remarked that he ought to do this with his relatives, especially when they're having a good day for change and not complaining. We then started talking about how this could be used as a silent, meditative practice. If I started looking for positive energy, a smile, a greeting, a kind gesture, and I took the time to acknowledge it to myself on a regular basis, would that in turn generate more of the same? Would it not cause me to only be a receiver of positive energy, but to perhaps generate some of my own? There are definitely times I've anticipated the absolute worst from people, and situations only to find it happening right before my eyes. While I do not believe I can magically make people automatically treat me well, I do know that my mental frame going into those situations undoubtedly sets me on the path to conflict. Interestingly enough, I've also experienced the opposite, being pleasantly surprised by a positive reaction despite my negative anticipation. As my client wisely pointed out, the practice of positive energy accepted is not to create or attempt to set up positive situations. It's also not about trying to change anyone's behavior. It's simply a practice to ground oneself while going about your day. In this present moment, I'm accepting positive energy. Hope you do too. Thanks for joining me today. Talk to you next time.